Scoopler. Stars, gossip, hype.
Lawson, you were Big Brother's magician and you've performed the ultimate magic act. You've made yourself disappear.
It's time to go. Lawson!
I have. Unfortunately, I made Travis reappear and I disappeared. What a shame.
How do you feel?
It's hard to put into words. It's all really just still a whirlwind of emotions going through my head. But it is sort of good to get out of the house.
You were a very good magician in the house, and a lot of the time we got to see the housemates' reactions so that we knew it wasn't TV magic. Where did you learn all the magic from?
A lot of the time I taught myself or books. On YouTube, I bought some magic tricks, and sometimes I'll just see a magician do a magic trick and teach myself.
You, Jason, Jake and Sandra were all favourites to be in the top 3. Why do you think in Big Brother we're losing our biggest players?
I think I can explain 3 of those, and I have no clue on the 4th. I know that myself, once I entered into a relationship and made the decisions I did with Kat, I threw myself under the bus. I knew I wasn't going to make it to that final. Sandra lost her best friend Sam, and as soon as she lost him, it's like she just gave up. She didn't want to be there anymore. She had no reason to be there, and Australia, I think, saw that, and they got rid of her. The other one is Jake. I think he got himself caught up in a love triangle, and that saw him and Lisa, who I also thought was a strong competitor, leave. They both got booted for the same reason, I think. Jason's the one I can't explain.
Maybe a gay man's already won Big Brother?
Who was that?
I don't know. Still hanging around. So 2012.
Let go, man. Let go.
Do you think when you had that fight with Sky, do you think that she'd set you up?
No, she didn't set me up, but she got me a beauty. I'm a very competitive person, and yeah, she definitely won that argument. I had nowhere to go. She got me good and made a good point.
Do you think that she's going to win this thing?
Look, it's either her or Ryan, and I would much prefer to say Ryan. I'm sick of her getting such a big head from everyone thinking she's going to win.
Travis and Ryan were partnered at the start of the season, but then we saw a bit of a tense relationship forming. Why do you think that was?
Look, if you come into the house with someone, you're going to support that person and be with them 100% because you don't know how long you're going to be with them. Once they got split up, I think Ryan just noticed that him and Travis weren't compatible. They weren't as similar as he might have thought. And yeah, things Travis said just got on his nerves and a lot of other people in the house, I guess.
Do you feel like when you had the opportunity to split the money and you gave Aisha the 20K, did you do that for strategy because you thought you'd want to win the big prize?
No, not at all. Even now, I don't regret giving her the $20,000. I think she much more deserved it than I did. I didn't have any reasons for me to take that $20,000, and she had heaps. I've been blessed in my life. Not kidding anyone here, but I'm an apprentice electrician, so I could have easily have used that $20,000 to do a lot of good things, but she deserved it way more than me.
Do you think that Travis and Aisha's relationship is legit?
Early on in the piece, I thought that it was just a showman's, and I deliberately called it a showman's when I spoke to them about it and when I spoke to housemates, but I have since eaten my words and do agree that while they are in the house, yes, they are in a romance, they are in a relationship. Whether or not that turns into something on the outside, I don't know, because they are both very stubborn people and they live in very different places, and neither of them, from the sounds of the conversations, want to move.
But they could move into Travis's mum's house.
I'm sure Travis's mum would be very happy to have Aisha at her house with also all his brothers.
There seems to be a bit of trouble between Sky and Leo. Do you think that their relationship's about to fizz?
Yeah, I really do. I think that Leo's in over his head. I think that Sky is using that relationship, or that's not even a relationship, they're a couple, and she's just starting to realise that it is a couple, and she's starting to back out. She, I think, is using that relationship to help her along the game, for comfort and for the things that come with being in a couple. But Leo is in deeper than he thinks, and he doesn't have any control of it. And I'm worried for him because I do care about both those people.
Splitting the couple seems to have changed the dynamics of the house. Has it changed the game?
Yeah, I think Ryan made the right decision. It was the only way it could have gone down, and it actually, I think, gave a huge advantage to the people that were in the house and not in the sanctuary, because they got the chance to get their identity back and be their own person and spend time with the new housemates and also the old housemates without having another person there that they needed to be worried about spending time with.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to be on that side, but I still went anyway.
Tomorrow morning when you wake up, what will your Facebook status be? Will it be single, in a relationship, it's complicated?
I haven't had a chance to speak to the other person involved, but I think that tomorrow morning it's definitely going to be it's complicated, because I don't think it gets much more complicated than where I am at the moment.
Candice was rumoured to go into the house as an intruder. How would you have dealt with that?
Geez, I don't know. If she came into the house, I would have just had to dealt with it on the spot, and the conversation that I will have with Candice now would have happened in the house, but I know Candice very well, and she would never agree to come on the show, and she's a very private person.
There was a lot of rumours going around about the fact that your relationship had ended just before you went into the house. Who had ended the relationship?
Candice ended the relationship. Once we were apart, we realised that we wanted to be back together, and then we just decided that last week before I went into lockdown, we were going to just make it the best we could, and we ran out of time. We just had to say that we were going to discuss and figure out what we were going to do when I got out, and that's the way it went down.
I have to warn you, relationships based on extreme situations usually don't work out. It's a reference to Speed.
Yep.
It didn't work out for Sandra and Keanu. How do you think it's going to work out for you and Kat?
I think relationships in the real world, they end quickly. They might go for a long period of time. In the Big Brother house, you don't have anything to worry about except for the time you spend together. So you don't know what's going to happen on the outside with work and commitments and all those things. So it's just something that I'm going to have to play by ear.
You've mentioned that there might be a bit of a move on the cards. Are you thinking of moving out of Western Australia?
Yeah, so even before coming on this show, I wanted to move, perhaps to Sydney or Melbourne to follow an acting career. But now more than ever, I really do want to get out of Perth, because it's a very, very small place.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people that I do know probably need to maybe move away from.
Yeah.
So whether or not that's Sydney or Melbourne, I'm not sure. Perhaps even some place where they can't even pronounce my name and don't even recognise who I am.
Yeah.
Might be nice.
Some people were talking about magic that happened in the sanctuary with you and Kat. Would you like to explain what magic happened?
I don't recall having a deck of cards in there, but yeah, there's definitely no magic as such. And I'm sure Australia has seen that I am quite good at magic tricks, and there was definitely nothing there that was magic.
Yeah. And hands were out of the bath or in the bath at all times?
Well, look, there was, I guess, a bit of alcohol involved, so I think that sometimes the hands are out of the bath, sometimes they're in. When you're washing yourself in the bath, sometimes they're in the bath, sometimes they're out of the bath.
Obviously, it's going to be hard for Kat being left in the house and with you being on the outside, and she'd be worrying. Do you have a message for Kat that being still in the house as to how you feel and how you're going to be without her?
Yeah, sure. I think she doesn't need to worry. I'm a big boy. I've put my big boy pants on, and I think that I'm going to cop it on the chin either way. She just needs to spend the rest of the time in the house not worrying about me and just enjoying the time that she has left, and whether that's she goes tomorrow or she takes out the 200k, she just needs to enjoy the time she has.
Do you feel like you found a life partner?
I feel like I've found 22 life partners or however many people have been through that house. I have now a bond with every single one of the housemates that have been and are still there that is going to last for a long time, and I know that may sound naive.
If Candice forgives you, Do you think that will make things complicated with you and Kat?
She's just completely wrecked and has nothing to say to me because of how emotionally distraught she is. And that'll obviously take time. And if that is the case, then I'm willing to speak to her when she's ready.
Yeah.
Otherwise, look, I'm going to respect the fact that she doesn't want to speak to me.
In the magic show, all of a sudden you just ripped off all of your clothes, and I've been waiting to ask you this question, but being a magician, is that some sort of a magic trick that you do and that's how you become so buff, or did you work for it?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a magic trick. I think that, well, when I was younger, I was really fat. My nickname at home was Fat.
Okay.
So just in the last year and a half, I've worked really hard to sort of get where I am. I think I've got a long way to go when I compare myself to the other people in the house, but thank you very much for noticing.
Very nice. I thought it was great. That's why I'm sweating while I'm talking to you.
You may have gone a little bit red, but that's okay. Hey, look, you're only human.
Yeah,
you're only human.
That's right. It's my partner over there watching. I don't want to join the cheating bandwagon.
Good dig.
Good dig, yeah.
I mean, is that too soon though?
It's too soon. It's far too soon. So they've sent in these 4 intruders. Why do you think they've done that?
Maybe we were boring. I don't know. Maybe we'd run out of stories and we had nothing else to say to each other. So they've spiced it up by throwing 4 new housemates in, who are all fully fledged housemates now, so it seems. And we've got new things to say, but half the time I can't be bothered repeating my stories. And
what about the magic tricks?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I've done so many magic tricks, and to then just. What was I to put on another show and show them? I've got a lot more tricks, but then to show them more tricks, and all the other housemates are like.
Yeah, boring.
Yes, we've seen this one.
Do you think that any of them have a legitimate chance of winning Big Brother?
I don't think any of them have a legitimate chance. I think that with 3 weeks to go, maybe 4 weeks, there is not enough time for them to build up as big as a fan base as the likes of Sky or Ryan. They may make it to that final, but they definitely won't win.
Who will win Big Brother 2014?
I 100% think that it's going to be Ryan.
Yeah.
And I think Sky will be the runner-up. I hope Sky will be the runner-up because she has already got tickets on herself, and I don't think she needs more.
Okay. If she wins the show.
Oh yeah, we've heard her say that she's born to win this show. So
really,
yeah.
But do you think that arrogance is hard to deal with?
I don't know. I'm not. I may sometimes come across as very confident and arrogant, but I'm not an arrogant person, and I just can't deal with it myself. So I stopped giving her the time of day with telling her that she's going to win.
Okay, you were definitely the most controversial person of Big Brother this year, but you also have a lot of fans because you are a genuine guy. If you could leave a message for the people from Scoopla and the people from Australia who voted for you, this is your opportunity.
Oh, great, it's on. Hi Scoopla and Australia. Thank you to those of you who supported me and voted for me and followed along as I ventured on this crazy roller coaster ride that is Big Brother. I have been 100% myself, 100% genuine. I made some bad decisions and I followed my heart, and I'm now where I am. But thank you so much for all your support and love.
Thank you.
I couldn't thank you enough.
Scoopla. Stars, gossip, hype.